I think I made it. You were the reason now, but I can't explain it.
Hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, yes.
Alright, let's get it.
Coming loud and clear. You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Just, this weather got me feeling sort of way. Alright, so we started talking about earlier, and you say you finally saw Creed 2.
Not finally, I mean, it just came out, so.
I mean, it's been a week. That's a long time. Look, that movie,
It's lagging.
for me and my family, we saw that the day after it came out. It was a big deal for us. We're huge Rocky fans, so we made sure we saw it. What did you think? Have you seen the first one?
Yeah, it's the first one.
Okay, so what did you think about that one? Coming in, what was your expectation and what did you leave with?
I mean, I saw the first one with my family, and I thought it was just a phenomenal. I loved it, right? The whole story. I'm not a really huge fan like Rocky, Pablo, and stuff like that because I just never paid attention, right? I just never paid attention. I might like it, if I go and visit Philly, who knows? But
what? Just get the movie. I got the movie at home. If you want to borrow it, I got you. Go to Philly to get Rocky.
I let me get all of them. But I mean, the first one was, like I said, on point. When I watched the second one, I watched solo, went out to the movie theaters, and I liked it, but it's like, my expectations were really high, because I saw the reviews online, Rotten Tomatoes, people were this one is awesome, it's better than the first one, alright, but when I got in there, the storyline, I felt like I called the movie while I was watching, right? I was like, oh yeah, he's playing this guy, he's gonna beat the first guy, right? Just cause. Then after beat the first guy, I was like, dude, they got right into the fight as soon as the movie started, right?
Yeah.
They got right into the fight, which I like that, but I don't know, I just want a little bit more, right?
You want a little bit more story.
I want a little bit more story in between that as soon as it happened, got into the fight, which, okay, that kind of affected me a little bit. Not too much.
So you felt it was rushed?
It was rushed, 100%. Okay. Even though the movie was over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So, but that part right there was rushed. But I do like the storyline in between, talking about his father and then tying it in with the Russians. I'm sure they did that on purpose. That was a mistake.
Well, see, that's why it's important that you know your history, and that's why
I do like that part. Though.
Well, no, you got to listen to what I'm saying. You have to know the history of Rocky movies to understand everything that was going on in Creed. It's important because what happened in Rocky 4 is very important. What happened in Rocky 3 is very important. Now, I'm a big Rocky fan. I've seen all the Rocky movies at a minimum of 3-4 times each. My family, we watch Rocky movies just for fun. But hey, we're bored this weekend. Which one to watch Rocky? Right? So,
that's easy one.
Creed 2 was a combination of Rocky 3 and Rocky 4.
That's why I was okay. That's right? Probably why I was.
And the reason why you're thinking, oh, Russia, they're doing it because of now. Number 4 was all about Russia versus US, USSR versus the USA.
And they showed that. I mean,
and number 4 was when Apollo Creed got killed. Now number 3 though was when Rocky, he became the heavyweight champion, kind of like Creed did, and then oh yeah, sorry, spoiler guys. Spoilers. Bro, I'm sitting here just outlining the movie. Nah. Oh man, hey, we're gonna have to just give people.
I didn't say any. That was Jubril.
Well, actually, this is not really spoilers. Just look, if you want to, I don't know how long we're gonna talk about this, but skip forward a little bit and get past this. Get to the intro. So it's a combination of 3 and 4, and you have to watch those to understand how they were. And me and I called it. Me and my mom talked about it. It was there's the only way they could do a sequel to Creed 1, because Creed 1 was the same exact storyline as Rocky 1, exactly.
Okay.
But it's a different character, different motivations, different storylines, so on and so forth. But it was still good on its own. It was a good standalone movie if you've never seen any of the other movies. But you have to see, to understand Creed 2 fully, you have to see Rocky 3 and 4.
And that makes sense. And please, nobody hit me up and call me quote unquote not American because I haven't seen all the.
No, I don't want to do enough of that right now. I told people, I was giving the khutbah on Juma on Friday, and I was like, I believe that nobody's fully American until they see all the Rocky movies. I'm so serious. Yeah, bro. You might pass your citizenship test, but you got some more growing to do.
Well, after they find out, they might come take that. But no, that was the whole thing that was going through my head. I was like, it was just a rush, right? they did try to get a lot of content in their time frame, which about two plus hours. But that makes total sense now. What you said. One thing that I did like was the fact that when he asked Rocky to kind of, and not spoil it, when he actually asked Rocky for a favor and like he turned down the favor.
Don't
That's all I said. That's all I
anymore.
said. He just turned down the favor, and I was surprised about that, right? And then we went up, and he kind of went on the fight and kind of did his thing. Overall, the movie was good. All I'm saying, I thought it was rushed, but now it makes sense. That's why I came out. I was like, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, they had no choice but to put 3 and 4 together because they couldn't have gone on with the way they did 2. Like Rocky 2, Apollo Creed, and Rocky fought a second time. They couldn't do that coming off of 1, and then number 3, Rocky became the champion. And Creed 2, which, I mean, it's not really spoiling much. But anyways, that's how it had to work, you feel me? So yeah, once you understand the genesis of it all, how it all came to life, then it makes it a lot easier.
I'm satisfied now. Let me just go ahead and,
So shall we?
Yeah, shall we?
All right, let's get it. What's going on, everybody? This is your girl Salam.
And Muhammad Hassan.
And you are listening to the Young and Muslim Podcast.
We hit you with the greetings of peace.
No, that's the ending, bro.
Dang, dude. I mean, are we done?
All right. What is going on? We hope everybody's doing. Assalamualaikum. We hope everybody's doing extremely well. Good to see this guy. We haven't recorded, and it's been this is the longest since we started the podcast that we haven't released a podcast episode.
We just didn't feel like it. We were just lazy. It's like life just took over, man.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, we're here. We're back again.
Alhamdulillah.
Bringing that fire. That's design.
Yo, are we sitting on the? Yeah, we're sitting in the right positions.
Yeah.
It's weird because we don't do it purposely, but it's weird when we don't sit
spot.
It's like you're assigned seat.
But for me, my left side always looks better than my right side. When I get that shape up, I just gotta, pose.
You know what's funny? I remember when we I think it was our sophomore year when we were rooming together. And you asked me like, bro, do you have a side that just looks better? I never forget.
I do remember.
You're like, yo, I think it's my left side, and I was like, nah, I think it might be my right. And you're like, okay, gotcha.
Wait, we kept it consistent throughout.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we keeping our positions up.
But while we've been, I guess, gone,
hiatus.
A lot has happened.
Yeah, we've missed a lot.
A lot
of stuff.
No, I don't think we've seen a lot of stuff, right? Because we haven't had a chance to record. We've been able to do that research. We've been seeing a lot more stuff, whether it's on Instagram, online in the news, and there's just one thing that keeps popping back up.
Well, no, I don't want to. Look, let's say it for love. What's some good feel good stuff? What's some feel good stuff that we can kind of bring to the table right now?
Well,
some good news. What's some good news before we
Salah
start?
is still the top goal scorer in the EPL. Shout out.
Well, I think he's tied right now. He's
someone has 8. He's like second.
Yeah, he's second. But he was tied on 7. Everyone's like, oh, you started out real slow and
Egypt
one season wonder.
So that was awesome for the African.
Oh yeah, he did come up big for that.
You saw that? The guy was going crazy.
Yeah.
So that's all the fun.
We just watched Fly with Haifa.
Yes, that was
the Stereotype World video. The joint was dope, right?
That was my first time ever watching any of her videos.
Bro.
I didn't know what to expect. On point.
Guys.
That was great. Just the whole thing. Starting from the production, the music, the edits. It's just
the acting in it was good. That was really, really, really good. I think that's the best YouTube video I've ever seen. I would hands down say she has the best YouTube video I've ever seen.
Because the message came back to the same thing. What
exactly.
was that? We all have different traditions.
Yeah, and you can't stereotype us.
You don't stereotype. That was exactly what it is. Yeah.
So if you don't know who we're talking about, her name is Haifa, and you can follow her on Instagram. I believe she's on Twitter and YouTube.
Do we follow her?
Yeah, maybe not on Instagram, but make sure we do that. It's Fly with Haifa, so FLYWITHHAIFA, Fly with Haifa. Yeah. Very, very, very good video called Stereotype World. It's about 7 minutes, but at first you think, it's just going to be a song, kind of how we talked about Neon or whatever. But it started out as her being we're more in stereotypes, Boom, she does her thing, and then it goes into like songs, like cause she can spit. Like I've heard her rap, she can spit, and she does it in different languages.
Her Instagram says erasing stereotypes.
Hey, she's dope, right? And then it turns out to be like it throws you for a loop. I don't even want to spoil it. I don't even want to spoil it. I want you guys to
He's
check
already
that
done
out.
that already to you guys. Stop this man.
Get him under control. Yeah, so I definitely got to shout that out. That was really, really dope. Should we do shout outs now? No? Yeah, maybe.
As we go. You know,
Shout-outs.
what we're seeing. Just on each topic, we see somebody's heading on.
Well,
You might as well just let,
Yeah,
let
yeah.
all the feel goods out now.
yeah, let's get some feel goods out, bro. Because I want this podcast to start out good. I want everybody listening to be on their way to work, wherever they're going, be like, yo, like that's dope. Shout out to our girl Noor of This Muslim Girl podcast.
Yes.
She took herself and her family. I don't know why I was doing like the trucker. She took her and her family to Umrah. Congratulations, Mashallah, Mabruk.
That's my bro.
And that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. You know, it's the lesser Hajj, and a lot of people can't afford. The fact that she went with her parents is beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, Noor, I asked you to pray for me. That's Muhammad. Hopefully you did.
Hey, why don't you just give it the anonymous, like, yo, we both share the account. Why don't you just say pray for us? Like you just left me out in the blue.
I said pray for us, and then I put and the Hassan family.
All right, bet. Appreciate it. My family's out in the cold. I got you. Yeah, so that was really big. I definitely wanted to shout her out because that's an accomplishment that you recently did earlier this year, and inshallah next year. I can make Hajj, and I think you're going to try to make Hajj next year as well, right? Yeah, inshallah. You know, we can achieve it. You know, God knows best. So yeah, so like that was really cool.
And it's good to see more younger people going.
Yeah.
Right? People our age. You usually always see people like, oh, my great grandpa went, my uncle went, my know, father went. But it's good to see, yo, I know this, I know this Muslim woman. She's awesome. She's our age, and she also just came back.
Exactly. It's a good example, bro.
Breathe some life into us.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anybody you want to shout out? Do you have anything, or do I just keep going?
You can keep going because we're usually seeing the same thing, right? People that
shout out to Michelle Obama on her new #1 best-selling book called Becoming. My mom just bought it.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she just bought it. We were at the store the other day. We were all getting books, and she bought it.
1 million copies the first week.
Bro, like Michelle Obama is a firecracker.
She was on the Daily Show and actually loved it. Like, you saw that one with her and Trevor Noah?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, they sort of asked her, like, how does it feel to be, the wife of the president? And then she's like, it's awesome, but I have my own duties, and Barack and I really don't talk politics.
Yeah.
Because she was like, Barack, he brings me in when needed, but he's just like, there's just a lot of stuff that I don't need to see. He doesn't get me involved with his team and everything like that, because I have my own stuff.
Yeah, she's her own
take care of Chicago, But that's tight. Like, I love that, right? Because I think right now with this administration, like, usually when Trump does something, people just throw his wife in the wagon, right? And his wife is doing her own things too. She's trying to go out there and kind of, be your own person, but I'm not really paying attention to that. Shout out to
Bro,
Michelle.
hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Did you just say they throw his wife under the wagon?
No, into the same wagon.
Oh, I thought... I thought you were like, yo, they throw under the wagon. I was like, bro, we're not in Egypt no more. Like, it's under the bus, bro. It's under the bus.
You put under the Homa, the donkey wagon, you go.
Si c'est donkey, dit for donkey.
You make what? You make it upside down.
Puts a plundle in Zadi. Puts a plundle in Zadi. Yeah, we get so old. Bro, hey, yo, that was the funniest video you showed me in college, though. I think of all the videos, that's the one that I never forget, the Arab driving school.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, my God.
If you want
go
to
ahead, make a buck.
Go on YouTube.
Make a buck.
Turn to Kobe.
Easy.
Alright,
say it a little bit. E-D-T-B-Z. Itty-bitty.
Alright, bro. Oh, man. Can't take this guy. Anyway.
Oh, man. Hey, this is both of ours, okay? All right, so, yeah. Congrats, Michelle Obama, on that. Shout out to Muslims of the world.
Yes.
They're crushing it right now with their new book, Muslims of the World. You have it. How is it?
I love that book. I'm about 80% done.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because a lot of people that that we kind of follow right now, that in the industry, they're in that book.
Wow.
And I like it because it's people all over the world. You got people from the U.S., but the number one thing that I like about it the most, it brings out people's struggles right away. Right? Hey, I'm from here. This is what I do. This is what my family had to go through to get to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So it's not a book that just highlights, just wins. It actually puts out like the losses out there first and shows how those people overcame it, in either an Islamic way or just in a Muslim country that we're in. Right? So the book is exactly what the title is, highlighting different Muslims all around the world. And it was people like that look so different from you and I, so different from the people that we see on TV, so different than our influencers that we see on a daily basis,
What do you feel like it was a good representation of?
100%.
Because we saw the quote earlier today that said that only 15% of Muslims are Arab.
15%.
So do you feel that book kind of represented
100%.
that? Yeah? Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, after I'm done, I'll definitely give it to you. No, it is. Yeah, they did a great job.
Word. Nah, I can't wait to read that, man. So yeah, shout out to them. I know that they have a number one bestseller. They got that very quickly as well. Like, they've been promoting it extremely well.
Because they had the pre-launch.
Yeah, that's true. They had a pre-launch, and then when they actually launched, it was like, bam. So shout out to them. Shout out to Tariq Toure. He came out with his book, 2 Parts Oxygen. Yep. And he just dropped some merch. The pen is mightier than the sword, or better than the sword. Yep. So, it's great. Yeah, it is a great sound, right? Yeah, the merch is pretty dope.
We made math.
Bro, I was flunking math, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But no, yeah, shout out to him. That's somebody that we've been watching very closely. So yeah, shout out to those 2 people who dropped books. Who else? Oh, shout out to Chef Patel, YouTube star, hijabi model. She dropped her new merch.
I saw they dropped a few different episodes on SoundCloud. I think they maybe have...
No, not episodes. They dropped a mixtape.
Yeah, that's what it was, right? Yeah, they dropped a mixtape on SoundCloud. Young Muslims Grinding out in Baltimore, Maryland. Check them out if you haven't already.
Bet. All right, now that we're kind of done with the shout-outs, you got any more shout-outs?
Nope.
All right, cool. All right, shout-outs done. Shout out to everybody.
Boom, boom, boom.
All right, shout out to all of our listeners.
Yes.
Shout out to all of our people that are listening on iTunes. Shout out to everybody listening on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that watches us on Instagram Live. Shout out to everybody that listens to us on, did I say SoundCloud right?
Yes.
All right, say SoundCloud.
May Allah bless you all.
May Allah bless you. People that listen to us on Castbox. People that, are put up with us on a daily basis. Shout out to us for putting up with each other on a daily basis.
Shout out Ma.
Yeah, shout out to our mamas. Shout out to our siblings. Shout out to Leesburg, Virginia. And one more day.
It's the Leesburg, no, I don't represent the town. I'm playing the bird.
No.
Leesburg, bro. That's not
the bird.
I get my finances. I don't break.
That's the only way I break bread. Hey, shout out to the Bahamas though, because the Bahamas is where we about to be residing for a little bit. Going on a warm vacation, take a break from this cold.
Yes.
So my question is, how do Muslims do vacations? Like, going on vacations, how do Muslims go to the beach? Like, how is that? Like, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about just from my experience with my family?
Yeah, with your family, or like, just, funny stories. You got any funny beach stories?
Oh yeah, I actually do have a funny beach story. So I went to Florida this past summer with my family, and my sister goes into the beach, and she's wearing some pretty big clothes. And then when she goes in the water, we're just all watching, and she just like blows up. She's wearing like a 3X shirt, and then we're all just there, and she looks like just like a huge rock in the water, just floating, and we just kind of like teasing her. So that was something that was actually really, really funny. And then my little niece, she got chased by a dog. She's like, oh my she's my pretty dog, and the dog started barking. I caught it on camera. She was dying.
Bro, I need to see that video.
I'll show it to you later on. How about you? Let me throw that back in.
How do Muslims go to the beach?
Funny story.
Funny story? I don't really have any funny stories, to be honest. Like, we just go to the beach like regular people. Like when the kids are younger, they have bathing suits and stuff like that.
Well, let's talk about the question that was asked to us in the past. I know, as men, Muslim men are just men. We like our women when we go to the beach, sometimes for them to cover up, right? Mm-hmm. And as Muslim men, we expect our women to cover up when they go to the beach. As men, do women expect us to cover up when we go to the beach?
Well,
Is that something
we're
that's
asking that to one another, so
Yeah,
I don't think.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: if your future wife says, "Hey, I don't like that your chest is out there. All these honeys are looking at your chest. All right, cover up the ground beef on your chest."
Mm-hmm.
Would you cover up? Would you wear a tank? Like if she told you had to wear a tank?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's,
Even going in the water?
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you welling.
Look, one thing I've learned.
You are welling.
learned, bro. Happy wife, happy life.
Learn, you ain't been married.
That's what I keep hearing. I can still learn it.
No. Happy spouse, happy house. Yeah.
If you live in an apartment, you might be in trouble. But a beater, I've never had somebody be like, yo, yeah, put on a shirt. I've never had that. So I don't know. So like
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just.
like,
I just want to ask a question.
Yeah, like a beater, okay, but someone, yeah, you better go in the water. Can you wear a long sleeve shirt? And I'm like, oh, snap, like, what? So, to be continued. You asked me that question when I get married, but now I cannot comment.
Oh, there is one shout out that I did forget. Shout out to Brother Amir, the founder of America's Islamic Heritage Museum out in DC. He was just in USA Today, which was a very, very big deal. Just talking about why Islamic heritage here in America is overlooked and why we as Muslims in America don't talk about it enough. We want to open up that topic later. I left the article. I had it to kind of dive deeper into it.
Yeah,
but we're going to come back into that in another episode because it was actually, I started reading it. It was a very good article. I've been there twice now. And I definitely need to go back a third time. There's just so much information about how Islam started in America and how the founding principles that are in America are founded on Islamic beliefs and principles, but we don't see that in the actions of the people and of the government in many ways. But in other ways, we do see it. So it's, mashallah, we're blessed to be where we are, and I'm blessed to be in this country. But shout out to Brother Amir Muhammad, because that man is a pioneer, like of the highest sense of the word. He is a pioneer.
Who knew Islam has been in the U.S. like since the 1400s? I had no clue.
Yeah, it's been here for a minute.
And he just told me about all the names. Like, there's a reason why everybody called themselves a Belal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that time, right? Because nobody knew their names.
Belali,
yeah, Belali.
Mowit, Mohammed. I didn't know people spelled Mohammed with T's. Mohmit. There was a lot of Muslims. There was a lot of Muslims that fought in the Civil War. A lot of Muslims that fought in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Like, we don't hear about this sort of stuff, bro. There were a lot of Muslims that were part of the Gullah people. Like, you can, and it's interesting. You can tell a lot about people who they origin from by their last name, and we think that like because of slavery and things like that, like it fizzed out. But when we took on those names, a lot of Muslims did keep their names. There were a set of people of Muslims who kept their names, when they came over here, and they were regarded as very strong people or there was this one, I can't remember his name, one of the most famous American Muslims that you never heard of, but they couldn't make him out of a slave because he was so strong-willed. This man was like, no, I'm going to pray. I'm not going to be treated as a slave. This man basically, he was from Timbuktu.
Oh,
he was from Timbuktu, and they said, you can't get the people from Timbuktu, you can't break them. They're too devoted in their religion and in their faith for you to break. May Allah bless their souls.
You can't forget, even the Moors. There was some Moors that were Muslim too.
Yeah.
So the Moors that came from Europe, they were actually all wealthy, that helped Europe kind of build their land, everything like that. They came here and they were Muslims too.
Yeah,
So.
Polish people.
Yes.
A lot of Eastern Europeans came over as Muslims. So if you get a chance, go over to the museum or research the article. You can look up Brother Amir Muhammad, America's Islamic Heritage Museum, USA Today. I believe the article came out not too long ago. Matter of fact, I might have it up. It came out November 23rd. So check it out. It's what you don't know about America's Islamic heritage, and there's a lot that we do not know, even as Muslim Americans.
I've been American my whole life as a Muslim, you know?
Yeah.
And stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Exactly, bro. And then and it's important for people who come to this country, you know, Muslims who come to this country to understand that, you know, we've been here. You know what I'm saying? Like because my whole life I've dealt with Muslims that come from other countries. They come here, they have kids and stuff.
Trying to show you what to do.
Yeah, and they look at me like, oh, brother, you pray like that. I'm like, dog, like I know how to pray, you know, like.
Let me teach you about Islam.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm Muslim. So it's like I take offense to it because, you know, like you have to understand my history. You have to know my history before you can come here and try and boss me and my people around. And when I say my people, it's not about black. It's about Muslim Americans. You know, like this is where we reside. This is where we're from. This is our home.
You know that's very interesting. You say that because a lot of people do believe that, you know, because our prophet, peace and praise be upon him, came from Saudi. They think that we should honor that history, which we do. You know what I mean? Like,
No. They act like they're the cream of the crop.
Sure.
But you know what's interesting? All
But
the stuff that they're going through.
That's just
That's a
we'll
whole
go
nother
into that too. But they think that because it grew in their background, they don't have to know the ingredients. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have they expect you guys need to know what we're about and that's it. We don't need to learn anything else. Like it started here.
Yeah.
You know, you guys come to us. But that's not the right way to think. You know what I mean? Because it's not open minded. It's
Yeah.
not like you have to know. Like, are you not gonna ever leave Saudi? You feel me? You're not gonna go to other countries.
You're not gonna respect other people, and yeah. And anyways, I've said before, man. I think that this country was built to be a country built on Islamic principles, or principles of believers, and I think that we can come to this country and we can practice our religion here as freely as we want. You know.
We
like,
have been.
people, yeah, and we have been. Like, dude, we have a podcast. What we talk about on this podcast, we couldn't do everywhere else.
Bro, I get off on Fridays for 2 hours, no questions asked.
Yeah.
You know, for Juma.
So I was watching TV. You know what I find interesting?
What?
You and I don't watch a lot of the same TV shows.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I don't watch the TV shows.
Yeah, I love watching like TV shows and stuff like that.
When I come home, right, the time that I have, I'm already tired after I got before with you were playing it. I go through the channels. I'm like Shark Tank. I throw on Shark Tank or the Animal Planet. But there's one thing that I've been watching now with my boy Tamim. Have you heard of something called Geography Now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I kind of played him on the background, and I learned about a new country. He told me about El Salvador a few days ago, which I thought was awesome. Like that guy's.
You don't watch any like mind meltings. Like I love Animal Planet, bro. I've seen David Attenborough is a national treasure. Sir David Attenborough, that dude is amazing. He's the one that narrates. A lot of the planet Earth is water.
Every time I start a show, I can never finish it.
You go to sleep.
No, I just never get. The only show that I got hooked onto and watched it like every single day when a new episode came out was Lost.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, there's so many shows that are just as good, if not better than Lost.
One day I might figure them out and discover those shows, but for
Bro,
now,
TV's been a big part of my life, so
Yeah.
for me it's like, yeah, we're different.
because when you watch them, you watch it different. Like you look like going into acting and
Yeah.
everything like that. Like you look for the nuances that other people.
Yeah,
don't.
bro, I'm
People just
watching
don't,
like.
you just don't turn on the TV and just kick back and just be like,
But
in
I,
the days.
but I like being able to watch shows where I can kind of just like zone out. Interesting. This wasn't even anything planned, but like, do you find yourself watching stuff on TV that, if you're with, like, you wouldn't watch it if you were with certain friends, like certain Muslim friends and stuff like that? Are you flicking through something your mom was like, oh, don't watch that, that's haram, or are y'all kind of like relaxed about it?
No, here's what we do at my household, right? I have the remote when we play on a movie that I know has certain parts that are uncensored and need to be skipped over. When that part comes, I just skip it over. That's it. It's not like don't watch the whole movie. Like,
no. What I'm saying is like, is there a show that maybe your mom and them watch, or like you watch, and y'all watching it, and there's stuff in it that's quote unquote not Islamic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's haram, but you guys watch it anyways. Because I know we watch a couple shows where it's like it totes that line, but we tell each other, hey, nah,
don't.
Like, yeah.
This is not
like,
what we do.
but we're adults, and we're educated. We know
So it just depends if we have the kids around or not. If the kids are around, then you see like, oh, but then where adults were sitting there were like, that's not
That's not even real.
That's not real. Nobody does that.
It's like a telenovela, Like telenovela is it's a Latino drama. It's like the soap operas, but they're like super over dramatic. Oh my God, you cheated.
I think I know what you
like it's over the top dramatic, right? And you're watching this, and people watching for the drama, knowing that it's not real.
They don't understand the lick.
Exactly.
What they're saying.
Yeah, bro. It's a lot. Like my grandma used to like. A lot of stuff you get from genetics, you know what I'm saying? And like my grandma like watched a lot of TV and stuff like that. So like now anyways, I digress. But yeah, I was just curious about that, like how you feel about that. I watched a show called Superstore. Super good show. It comes on I think ABC. It has America Ferrera in there, a few other really good actors. And it's about a superstore, like almost like a Walmart type store, right?
Yeah.
And in the store, they hire this guy. He's Muslim, typical. He looks like he's Arab. Mm-hmm. His name is Saeed.
Mm-hmm. Owns the store,
right? No, he doesn't own the store. No, he's a new employee. So this dude is praying, right? But instead of he goes straight down to Ruku, and he starts singing the Al-Fatiha. But it's during the day. So I'm like, yo, the prayers are silent. Like he's making prayer completely wrong, and he's making prayer like this.
In the U.S.
Yeah, it's the U.S. But he's making prayer in the utility closet while the lady is
I try to give him like the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe he's in a place where that has 22 hours of sunlight.
No, so he's almost. It looks like he's making dua. Like he's down, where like when you would say the Tashahhud, and he's Bismillah Rahman Rahim, and I'm like, dog, there's so many things wrong right now.
See, yeah. I don't like when shows do that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
It's like, yo, there's no, like, y'all, first off, y'all couldn't got a real Muslim, one, and then two.
Why an actor? I know a real one.
Two, like, ding, ding, ding. Two is, y'all didn't just think to go on YouTube and just look this up.
Yeah.
Like, let's go on YouTube and look up how to make salat.
They probably had an agenda for that.
But bro, they do it on so many movies. They do it on so many shows.
You know what's funny? I just watched. I want everybody to listen to this very, very closely. I was watching a show right now. My friend just put me on. Right, it was this random show, and I was watching with him. And then there was this younger boy in there, right, who was I guess the correct term for it. I guess gay, queer. And while I was watching it, like I don't have any problems with it. I was watching. I was like, okay. And the next thing you know, they had an episode where the guy took another guy, and went behind, closed doors, started kissing and just doing whatever. I'm like, why are you showing that? You kind of see what I'm saying? I'm like, I understand that. Like, I understand that, like this, you have stuff like that. It's out there, but it's like, what agenda are you trying to push? Then they're like, oh yeah, that's funny, that's cool, that's something that I like to see. I don't know, that is I just thought that was really weird. I just thought that was something that I haven't really seen in the past like that.
Look, that's another topic for another day. It's difficult.
It is difficult.
And
I still watched the whole thing. I wasn't just turn it off. But I was just like, it's just out there.
Look, here's what I will say. I think that we live in a time where, if you believe certain things, do you? And if you don't believe those things, do you? And you see people on certain sides of whatever the topics. When you don't believe certain things that they believe, they think you're in the wrong. But there's no sort of tolerance on either side, right? We're taught in our religion to have tolerance. Allah says, be tolerant of those who believe differently than you, right?
Okay.
Allah's the one that's in control. And the way I see it is, as Muslims, we have to follow that. We have to be the ones that say, I may not agree with what you do in your life. I might not agree with this person. I might not agree with, like, for instance, we have friends that go out and drink and get tore up on the weekends. I might not agree with it, right? But it doesn't mean that I'm going to treat them any less because they believe
less in person,
or they do differently than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have
they can change. They can change their ways.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have a friend who's gay. I play soccer with him, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't treat him any differently than I do any of my other teammates. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, like, that doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't affect me, and it doesn't matter, right? And it's just a difficult conversation because you want to be respectful of other people, their lifestyles, what they believe. You know, like I have friends that are Hindu and Buddhist. Like I don't go around and preach to them. Like it's just it's not my place, and it's not right for me to judge. So,
like I said, it's just because I have friends that also that are gay, and I treat them the same exact way, right? I don't ask them about their personal life, and like whatever they want to talk about, we talk about. But I'm not questioning. I'm just like, that's interesting, right? I'm like, that's interesting, okay. And if they want to talk to me about it, we can have a conversation. Because I think as straight guys, I feel like more conversation needs to be had about that because we're shying away from it. Like we're running away, right? Every time somebody brings up gay, we're like, oh snap. Like let's cross our fingers. Let's stay away from that.
I don't know
that's a no. Like like back up if you I don't know you're watching the YouTube part. Like back up. I had this the cooties and shit, man.
Oh my god, hey Mo, yo, chill, bro. Chill. You off the walls.
I was messing with you, but that's what I'm talking about. So when I just saw that, I was like, okay. I just thought that was interesting because when I watched shows and movies in the past, like that, it wasn't as blatant. You feel me?
Look, I think in a general sense, TV is becoming over sexualized, right? Like there's no line between what is like before, like you said, like my mom says all the time. She was like, I remember we could watch shows and there would be like very little cussing, there would be very little sex, and the shows.
Them did, like just sex in general.
Yeah, just sex. But she's like, now it's like there's no line.
Yeah.
And what I know about ratings is that you get a certain amount of like cuss words per rating.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So like when
like
shows like PG-13, you get one
F
F-bomb.
Yeah.
When it's like PG-13
until
or something like that.
Like mature, just rated R.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just changed, man. Like everything's becoming hyper sexualized, and that's what people are buying into, And look, I can't complain because I watch a lot of this stuff, right? So, but I understand. Like I'm watching, I'm just like, man, we could do without that. Like that's too much. But I think a lot of stuff translates to what we see out in society. It translates to dude, I was on Instagram the other day and I was like, dog, like, it's just crazy how, women are, and this is no fault of women, I think that it's the society has, made this a standard in some sorts where it's like, women feel the need that they have to show their bodies more and more and more to get attention from guys. And we were talking about this.
Remember that ad? Remember I was saying about the ad that came out?
Which one?
The Israeli superstar.
Oh yeah. What was that?
So it was an Israeli superstar. I forgot what her name was. I think it might have been Barb. She's married to an Israeli businessman, and she had a niqab on. And then the song came out because she was pushing her fashion wear. And while the song was playing, she was like, "Be free, be yourself," and took off the niqab, took off like the sweater that she had on. The next thing you know, she had like she had like a midriff on, her stomach was showing. She was like, "I'm free now," or something like that, right? And then outside of the Muslim community, other females or other women were like, that's not what makes us free. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I saw a woman say something like that too. She was like, it doesn't matter if you wear niqab, it doesn't matter if you just wear hijab, it doesn't matter if you wear nothing. Like, liberation means something different to everybody.
It's in the mind too.
Yeah, but to push this agenda that, for a woman to seem free, that they wear less is ridiculous, Yeah. And look, you wear whatever you want. I don't care, but I think it's very interesting that we're seeing a lot of these girls, they go on Instagram and feel that if they show less, then they get more likes.
They get more attention.
They get more attention, but what is that attention really worth? Even for guys, like guys do the same thing. So this isn't just to attack women. Like, if you guys have been listening to this podcast for a while, that's not our style.
That's not how we roll.
At all.
We have sisters. We have.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So it's very weird to see the way that the world is moving, and slowly but surely, I'm starting to see more individuals buck these societal norms, right? Because they're like, that's Yeah, like that's not real. That's not real life, right? It's same thing as they do for Muslims. Like they stereotype you, as we were talking about, like how you feel, right? They put you in a bucket, or they put you in a type.
Especially from range from each culture to culture, right? And being on this point, I actually see something right here that I think is
What's your list say?
nah. This is something that we can talk about directly. It says, do men shame other Muslim men culture-wise? So, for example, if you see a brother that's going down the wrong path or doing something, what do? How do you approach that? Do you make a YouTube video about him and you send it to him, or do you put an Instagram post?
Bro, you gotta pull him aside, bro.
What do you do?
Like as men, there's certain unwritten rules, and I don't know. Maybe it's just my culture here in America, but you know, and where I grew up, African American black men, you pull somebody aside, bro. You don't do that whole talk behind your back stuff. Like we have a term for it that is not appropriate for the podcast.
That's that new generation-ish. That's all we can say.
No. That's that ish. Like we don't do that. Like you have to pull somebody aside. You got a problem with somebody, you pull them aside. Like yo, you see a dude. Like my dad used to do all the time when I was growing up. I used to get so embarrassed. He see a dude sagging. He didn't care where. He was like, hey, come here. And young dude come over like, pull up your pants. I'm like what? Pull your pants. And he would like talk to him and do it. End up pulling up his pants. But it's our respect, you know what I'm saying? So I think as men, you know, we don't do this whole like shaming one another. We kind of, we have to pull one another aside. Now, that's the culture that I grew up in. What's going on now, a lot of stuff we're seeing now is like, there's some over the top stuff that I'm just like, bruh, like, good luck.
But let's stay on this topic. I'll give you a perfect example that happened in my life. When I got my first job out of college, I was not able to get out for Jummah. I'm not gonna lie to you, I just got the job. I didn't even try that hard, just me being brutally honest. And then you pulled me aside. It was like, Mo, you gotta do this, right? This is your duty, right? This is your obligation, your weekly obligation. You gotta go to Jummah. And like, you ain't go and blast me on Instagram, you know what I mean? You ain't like, yo, all these fake Muslims out here not going to Jummah and hashtag me or whatever. You could have done that. You know, you could have. You just like, yo, Mo. And then after that,
fresh would have been over.
and then after that, I didn't miss a Jummah. But if you would have posted online and kind of directed it towards me, I would have probably still wouldn't have gone to Jummah, and you and I would not have been friends anymore. Yeah. So what did you do? You actually did something worse than what you were trying to do. Your intention might have been good.
I was pushing you away from what I wanted, what I felt was best for you as a Muslim. And we've seen that a lot. Like, all right, you want to talk about it now? Because we're about to.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the men's side.
We're about to. I see what you're doing there, buddy. I see how you was.
He just ruined two things for you.
I see how you were trying to segue over into the topic. Like you've been trying to get this off since minute one. Oh man, you're smart. You're a smart guy. I'm glad you're part of the podcast.
So, this is something that's been on both of our minds and it'll keep coming up. So, we know that when it comes to just men, we really don't, shame other Muslim men. I don't want to talk for all. I'm just talking about myself. I pull somebody aside. We're curious to see how do the Muslim women in our community, how do they do it? Like, I want to see more of that, but I can only talk from my experience. So, I have a younger sister and I have aunts, and every time, so my younger sister was at home, right, a few days ago, and she was wearing her kimar, she was master dressed, alhamdulillah, and then she had like a piece of her hair on her forehead coming down like this, bro, like watching like that, right? And then one of my aunts just saw her even before she came to greet. She's like, "What are you doing?" She pulls out, "What are you doing here?" Sticking out. She's like, "Oh, what's the problem? Like, I've been seeing you in years. Like, let's just say hi. Like, just see how I've been. Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, no, just cover that up. That's haram, yada yada." My sister, and then when she was really upset, she came, she talked to me about it. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You know what? Don't let that get to you, right?" I was like, "Don't let that get to you. That's probably Allah just testing you." And I was like, she's not gonna be the first. I mean, I was like, she may be the first, but like, she's not gonna be the last. Yo, I was like, trust me. I was like, you gotta get some more. I was like, you gotta get some thick skin. More people gonna come.
Cause you gonna have the last.
I was like, it's something you have to go through your whole life. And we just got off Instagram Live right now with Soha. Muslim sister.
And she said the same thing.
She same exact
Said
thing.
the
She's
same
out in
thing.
Louisville, Kentucky. She's the same. She said the people that come at me are the Muslim women in our community. And we right now there was 2 incidents where Jabril and I saw this, right?
Yeah.
Names? No names?
Yeah, of course names.
So
We don't hold back.
So we saw some online a few weeks back. There was Sister Mona. She is a rapper and freestyler. She's an MC. She calls herself MC. She's out in Jersey.
Has she released an album?
I'm not really sure
About
about
that.
that.
Go ahead with the story. I'm gonna see if she has an album.
She's an MC and she's an MC out in Jersey. Mashallah, you know, she also promotes like the modesty, fashion and dress and everything along those lines. And there was one day where she felt that she was uncomfortable and unsafe. So what she had ended up doing was that she took off her hijab, but not visibly. She didn't take off the whole hijab. She took off like the actual piece. Then she put a beanie on. So her head was still physically covered, right? And then she went online and she talked about it. And she talked about like, hey, look, this is why I did what I did. I felt like I was unsafe. And then when I heard that, I was like, you know what? If my sister or my mom or anybody like that was in a situation where they felt like they were, you know, in harm's way, like I would definitely promote them to do whatever they can to stay safe. So I heard that side. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Then some other people started to clap back, but I was really curious to see what other people were saying on the other side. And there was one individual that really stuck out to me, which was her name is Blackish Gold. That's just her virtual name.
Mm-hmm.
I think her real name's Amina, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And she was, you know, she had some valid points. Maybe the way she came across wasn't the best, but alhamdulillah, she had some valid points. She was saying, you know what, as a black Muslim and a woman, I just don't have the luxury to just put on a beanie and be safe. Even if I'm safe and people don't know I'm Muslim, I'm still black and I'm still a woman, and that's a way that I can be attacked. Which she's 100% true about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking that away. She's exactly right about that. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying somebody's more privileged than the other person, but I'll go more in detail with you guys. You probably want to do some episode because we just keep going back and forth. Then there was another incident that happened recently with Dino Tokyo.
I want to comment on that one because
Go on.
these 2 incidents are a little bit different. One is
They are,
woman
yeah.
on woman, the other one's like men on women, from what we've noticed, right?
From what we've gathered so far.
Yeah. So when it comes to the Mona situation, as a man, right, looking at the situation, I say, man, she does want to be safe, and I understand, as you said, I understand where a lot of these women are coming from, right? However, as women, I think it's very odd, as a man, I think it's very odd that women aren't supporting other women in their spiritual journey of hijab, of trying to, you know, fully embrace it and keep it on a permanent basis, like when you go out in public, right? In that sort of situation, you would think that, like we said, you pull someone aside, say, hey, like, what's going on? Like, let me listen, let me hear you out. But it's constant attacking, and I think it's extremely odd that as Muslims, you know, we're taught not to backbite and not to, you know, come at people that way. But the way she came at her, I mean, I just think it was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like she got a lot of backlash about it for literally no reason. Like her taking her head wrap off doesn't affect any of them. And, you know, you can say, oh, well, she has over 1 million followers. Her followers could be affected.
Who are we talking about now?
Mona.
Okay.
Yeah, she has over 1 million as well.
No.
No, she doesn't?
Nah, like 70,000.
What?
Yeah.
Bro, I know I'm not tripping.
You tripping.
Am I?
Yeah.
Hold on. We're about to look this up right now.
Yeah, you tripping like John Wall.
She has 69.1 thousand. All right. I was thinking of the second person. Anyways. Oh, her followers, they're going to follow after her. Well, first of all, if they're following her and not the prophet, they're not following the way of the prophet and the Quran,
100%.
right? Then
You gotta go back to the basics.
exactly, that's the issue.
You got some bigger problems on your
Yeah,
hands.
exactly. You got some bigger problems if they're taking after this lady. Like I get it, like fashion trends and stuff like that, but the hijab is a spiritual piece of clothing, right? Well, it's not. It's the veil, right? And it says in the Quran to cover your bosom. My mom was talking to me about this. I actually want to call her. It's late now, but She was saying that it says in the Quran that the woman is to cover her bosom from other men outside of family members and close family members and stuff, right? It doesn't say to cover the hair in particular. It doesn't say that particularly to cover. My mom said over years and years she's looked at this, right? And in other faiths, they don't always cover their hair, but they dress modestly. They cover up their bosom, right? Bosom is, like your chest.
Yeah.
And so she said, I think it's very odd. This is my mom, she was saying, I think it's very odd that, in this religion, the main thing that we worry about is covering of the hair, but yet people's actions don't follow up with their beliefs, right? And that goes for men and women. Like, we're so concerned with this one piece of clothing, So I say that to say that they were so aggravated by how this woman decided not to wear her qiyam or her hijab that a lot of people, I'm not gonna say all of them, a lot of people were acting in un-Islamic ways to address it. So it's like you're being counterproductive. Like, she might not be wearing it, but guess what? Your actions are reflecting what a Muslim is supposed to be doing.
I think the problem for me was that it started off as a religious thing and it turned into a race thing really quick.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now we're talking about white and black.
Because nobody can change that. Like, look,
she's playing the cards that she was dealt. What can she do?
Exactly. She's playing the cards she was dealt. And they have to look, in this country, in America, white people live even as white Muslims, live a different sort of reality than we do, right? As black people in this country, we have gone through so much trauma and so much as a people that we're used to having to be strong in those situations, right? Period. And so for any black person to expect any person of another, any white person in this country in particular to empathize with that sort of discrimination is unrealistic. Let's just be honest. It's unrealistic to say, oh, like, I want to experience. No, nobody wants to experience discrimination. So you do what you can to curb that.
And Dave Chappelle said, if I had a chance to be anything besides black, today would be my last day.
You said that? Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he said like a script. He's like, this is what I have full time. I can't flick it on and off. So I understand how people came and was like, oh yeah, well, you have that privilege to just turn it on and off when you want to. If she has that privilege, but she has it. That's in the story.
Exactly. End of the day, she has it. And we as black people, black Muslims in particular, to this situation, I didn't want the lights to go on. I had to wave my hand here. Us as black Muslims, right? Like, we have to understand that, as Muslims, there's a lot of diversity. Mm-hmm. That's what Flawa Haifa's video showed. Like, there's a lot of diversity within our religion, right? And we have to help our Muslim brothers and sisters to cope. So if we see that she's going through a tough time, instead of getting on her, why not reach out to her and say, hey, we're really sorry for everything that happened. Like, can we talk? What can we do to help you? Because we hate that you had to take apart something that was so significant to you spiritually in order to feel safe physically. Like, yo, what does it take for us to reach out and start having more empathy for people, mm-hmm. rather than condemning them because we look at their actions and say, no, that's not right.
And that's not what a Muslim is about whatsoever.
No, not at all. Yo, I think it's interesting how we went from like creed to like laughing and stuff to like laying down knowledge, bro.
I mean, that's just our friendship. We can go from serious to pretty funny, real quick.
We go on many flows.
So did you want to flip over to scenario number 2?
Hold on. So that was scenario 1. Let me see if there's anything I can throw in the middle of that. Just a monkey wrench, throw that in there.
Yeah, right. Give us
we did finish with the Muslims on TV, but yeah, they need to do a better job with that.
How they portray us, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to ask this, and this because we are talking about Twitter.
Just poke the heck out of my shoulder.
Bro, why do Arabs or anyone that speaks Arabic as like a first language, why do they type with numbers?
Oh my God.
Bro, I've been meaning to ask you that for a while. Like, we haven't even talked on the phone about that. Why do they type with numbers?
There's certain pronunciations and nuances in the way that the letters roll off your tongue that the American letters aren't enough. We need numbers.
I'd be like, R3.
So usually when somebody says the three, the backwards three is like, you know
Oh, it's an no,
yeah,
that Gene Hot. I need to say I know my alphabet. I'm learning my alphabet right now. Oh yeah, I'm trying to learn Arabic.
Like somebody be like, oh, you know, Muhammad is Zayek, they're not gonna put E-Z, they put Zayek, they put that backwards three, you know what I mean? That's kind of like their E, you know, like that's Zayek.
Yo, that's wild.
Yeah, so
That's
you
wild.
gotta.
Yo, that don't be throwing me off,
decode
dog.
it. Great question though.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
I thought you were talking about why do I guess Arabic speaking men or just foreigners come out as so serious. I thought you were gonna say that.
Nah,
Okay.
I already know the reason why. Yeah, so let's get into the second part. There's a couple other things that I definitely want to hit on, man. Like there's been some sad news this past week, like that's really.
Before we jump into that question, and we want to hear from you all, are Muslim men and Muslim women doing too much on Twitter? I've seen people go online.
Is Muslim Twitter too much?
Yeah, I've seen people go online. I go on Twitter just a little bit. Jabril's a Twitter guy.
Yeah, boy.
But I see people say that sometimes they go on it and they love it. Some people they go on it and just say it's too much, you know. So I want to get your thoughts on it and see what we can do better to kind of, you know, minimize all that.
That is interesting. Yeah, I think that people that everybody has an opinion on what somebody else is doing or saying, man.
Anybody trying to get that viral tweet, bro?
Yeah, but even the people that let them tweet what they want to tweet, bro. Like at the end of the day, Allah's gonna pull up that Twitter feed and be like, yo, like you would.
Remember what you said back in 05? Bring it up.
Hey, you were tripping, bro. And I ain't wrong with that. So it's like, yo, like I understand we have to correct one another, but it's the same way. It's like there's a proper way to do it where you're not outing people. You know what I'm saying?
It goes back to that shaming thing, though.
Yeah. Shaming is non-Islamic. No matter which way you slice it, it's non-Islamic. You're not doing anybody any favors. So like with the whole situation with Mona, just to go back on that, and I do want to transition to the next situation. Oops, sorry. Like the fact that she is still embracing Islam, the fact she decided to cover back up is huge, because like that just shows the depth of her strength, that she was able to go under all of that scrutiny, bro. On the USA Today for Brother Amir Muhammad's article on his museum, they used her picture. Why? Because they saw on Twitter that she was trending, that whole situation was trending, so they used her to basically. They tried to clickbait.
Yeah.
They tried to clickbait with her, and it came up on my newsfeed. They tried to clickbait, right? They're smart, but it's crazy because all of that attention she got for something that wasn't positive,
right?
And it wasn't like, don't get me wrong, like a woman takes off her hijab, like it's like, man, like that sucks, but. You know, the hope, inshallah, is that she'll put it back on and she'll rekindle that flame that made it important for her to actually wear it.
We're talking about Dino now, right?
Yeah, we can go into that one.
Bro, that example, that right there, who was that about?
Oh, that was about Mona, but it can be about her.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it applies both. All right, you go ahead. You got, hey, this is yours, bro. I'm here.
It's not mine, but that's the way we broke it up. So the second scenario, Dino Tokyo, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm not sure, I really don't know where she's located, but I know that she's also a fashionista. She's also, I think she also has she's also a YouTube star. Does a lot with hijab and modest dressing. And she made a choice about a week ago, made a final decision to take off the hijab or quinoa full time. I think she was kind of on and off, but she just wanted to take it off. And people asking her, just like, why did you do it? She was like, it's just personal, right? I think she said she's been wearing the hijab now for about 20 years now, and she said she wants to have days where she can let her hair float and have days to let her hair, be covered up. I can't relate because my hair does not flow. my hair does not move in the wind, so I cannot relate. But, I was like, okay, that's interesting to see her opinion. I saw what other people were saying, and somebody had a great point. Somebody was like, okay, you decided to take off the hijab. That makes sense. But what happened to all those people that came to watch you because you had a hijab on and because you showed people how to put on the hijab. Okay, like, you know, valid points. That might have been the reason why people got onto her, but why did people stay, right? Like, why did people, like, keep watching her throughout? She must be a good person. She must be putting some good energy into the world, right? She must be a positive influence for the community, or I don't think her runway or people would have stayed with her, right? So people are like, oh, okay, so you want to do this now after you capitalize so much money off us, you know, like Muslim community, everything like that. You decide where your money goes.
Exactly.
You see commercials all the time, but you don't say nothing when, you know, Louis Vuitton is buying stuff and you don't know where the money going to, and you're still buying stuff from them. You know, you don't know if they're going and using that money and, you know, helping out with the war in Yemen or just whatever. You know, like, nobody knows that, but nobody's talking about that, right? They want to talk about this, and she actually got attacked by a few brothers online. They made like a YouTube. I think they made a YouTube video about it. They
said she needs to. We can help you. We can help you.
They're like, yeah, we're trying to help you, you know, like, we're trying to bring you close to the deen, but all we saw was just trolling and just shaming. And even the husband got involved, was like, yo, like, what are y'all doing? Like,
leave us alone.
This should be a conversation between her and her husband. Like, even for her to come out and tell people what's going on, that's up to her. She, like, somebody posted, like, hey, she could have just went on and posted pictures of her with her hijab on, all that stuff. But she wanted it to be known. She wanted to be truthful. She wanted to, like,
she wanted to be transparent.
But this goes back to what your brother was saying. If she's doing something that you do not like or does not follow the steps of our prophet, you need to understand that and walk away. Bro. That's simple as that.
You know what's even more simple than that? Unfollow her.
Oh.
Like, bro, what is she doing? Bro, what these dudes are doing, they're trying to clickbait, one, and they're trolling, two, they're backbiting, three, four, they're not even trying to help the cause.
No.
They're not even it aggravates me when I see dudes go on and criticize women about how they dress. Like, I get it. Look, if she out here stripping, then man, then you be like, hey, look, hey, come on now, sister, come on. But she's still setting a good example. And the fact that some of the people that we're friends with follow her, right? I was looking at some of her pictures. People we know follow her, right? People that we're good friends with. Says something, because we know their character.
Yeah.
And we know where they stand. And I don't know much about this woman, but I know that if some of the people that we know that are following them, they kind of look at them for inspiration on how they dress. Like, bro, what's the problem there? Because they follow a non-Muslim woman that do that, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, I just think it's wild that these dudes are trying to pass this off as, oh, we're giving dawah. Like, no, you're doing more harm than good, because when you do stuff like that, you run people further away from the religion. You run them away from the deen. Because you're showing
that situation.
You're showing them the bad side of what these people are making Islam. Like, these people are making it to be some stranglehold. Surah 2, there's no compulsion in this religion. Period. Let people live how they're going to live. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to be sitting with one another on the day of judgment. It's going to be Allah, and it's going to be us. And the angels going to be sitting right there talking about, hey, boss, like, I don't know, man. This topic aggravates me because I hate seeing people try to get clout off of other people's misfortune and other people's shaming.
If they really cared about her, they would have flew out there and talked to her personally.
No, I don't know about all that.
No, but like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's
that's
what I'm saying. Like, bro, if I know you have a problem and you're somewhere else, like, I'm gonna come out and see you. I'm gonna call you. Yeah. Like, why didn't they just DM her? Why didn't they just?
Bro, because they don't care, dog. At the end of the day, they give no cares. They don't really care. This isn't about Islam. It's not about none of that. I couldn't even watch the full video because I'm like, dog, they're literally trying to sit here and tell her what she needs to do for the betterment of her soul to get closer to Allah, and why the hijab is going to make her feel close. It's like, dog, shut up. Yeah. Shut up. Shut up.
She knows what she knows what she needs to do. she should be.
Bro, or even if she doesn't, like what we have to understand is that we are practicing Muslims. End of the discussion. We are practicing.
And what is practicing?
Practicing, it means that you're going through developmental stages. If she's at a roadblock in her spiritual journey where she says, I don't know if I want to wear this because of all of the bad things that are happening to women like me who are wearing it, and she decides not to wear it, like, bro, let her do her. Let her and her husband and her her spirituality with Allah, let that be figured out between them.
Yeah. Where it should be figured out.
Exactly. Let her figure that out. And unless you're going to give some sort of like help towards
100%.
that, to say, hey, like I saw that you're going through this, like I was just interested, and I wanted to kind of talk with you and help and so on and so forth, like what's going on? Like I genuinely want to help you. Then you can offer your help. Then you can offer your 2 cents. We live in an age where people feel as though they have an opinion and they can make everybody think they're CNN.
Nobody asks for your advice.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Like, nobody asks for your opinion.
Shut up. Like, dog, like if I saw, yeah, bro, like that gets me hot, dog. Like that. There's not a lot of things that get me upset, but that really, like, because I put my sisters in that situation. If some dude, if my sister, they want to do their thing and social media is helping them out, like, if somebody was to attack them the way that these dudes are attacking women, I would snap. Yeah. Like, I would, look, you talking about flying out and help? Yeah, I would fly out there and we would have some issues. We would have some words. Yeah. But yeah, man, so like, yeah, that's a lot, dude. It's just a lot, man.
Next time, we promise you guys, when we have a discussion about this, we will have a woman with us.
Yeah. Look, man, at the end of the day, bro, I think you and I are both just tired of talk. It's like, dog, as Muslims, we have more to talk about than hijabis and hijab. It's like, dog,
my sister, bro. I talk to my sister about some, like, every day, like, mental health. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like what are we really out here trying to talk about? Yeah. Like, let's be honest. What are we really as Muslims out here trying to talk about? Are we going to talk about
feeding the poor? Is she establishing prayer?
Exactly.
She's establishing zakat, like we talk about.
Yo, are we out here trying to help each other wake up? Team Fajr.
Yeah.
That's something that we do.
Yeah.
We try to help each other wake up for Fajr. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
During the day, like, hey, Mo texted me the other day, yo, bro, make sure you play through it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, good looks, cuz. And guess what? I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's what we need to be talking about. We need to be talking about, yo, like, how many times are you praying today? Oh, you only praying 2? Hey, subhanAllah, bro, that's great. That's amazing. Yep. Let's work on trying to get you to 3.
Yep.
Because guess what? I just started doing 3 not too long ago, and I want to help you get there too. Like, how do we help one another instead of always trying to bash and criticize?
Meeting people where they're at. One thing I learned in sales, you're exactly right. You meet people where they're at, and then you go behind them, and then you push them. Right? What you can't do is be in front of them and pull them where you want them to go, because that never works.
Nope.
Because that's resistance and that's force, right? So like, you talk about prayer. Well, how many days you prayed today? You know what, man? I only caught 2. Stuff a lot. I was saying, you only caught 2, bro? Like, what are you doing? Salah is the backbone of Islam, which is, and then you go into a huge lecture, and then the son feels a scourge. He might pray 5 days tomorrow, but then after that, he may never pray again. So we just gotta really understand what we're doing, and our intentions may be good, but the way we execute may be harmful. We just have to remember that.
Total shift. When's the last time you had a vacation? Like vacation. Like, you didn't touch a phone. You didn't like you were just zoned.
The solo dolo with my family.
It doesn't matter. Whatever was the least resistance. Like, you just went there and you just like,
Well, I mean,
virgin pina coladas and all.
I went to Florida, but I took a lot of pictures because that was my first time going. I actually went to somewhere back behind my house. I went to Great Falls. It was just a warm day
out. My goodness,
it was a warm day out. I'm a homie now. We just had this all day long conversation just about life, a whole bunch of stuff. No phone, no nothing. I call it like a mini vacation.
Yeah, that's a mini vacation right there.
Yeah, because you plug out from the world, plug out from everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think that you have to reconnect with nature at least once a day. You have to create it, because that's where you see Allah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can pray all day long, but if you don't spend any time getting to know Allah's creation, because all the signs are out there, bro. Like, I tell people all the time, animals are very close to Allah in the creation, because they weren't blessed with free will, right? So they can't get away from their original nature. And so the signs are more easily, like they're able to read signs that Allah gifted them to be able to read. So for example, birds, when there's a storm coming, birds,
They out.
they out. My cats, they know, they're like, yo, storm coming, I'm out. Right? So, but humans, we be like, it don't look like about to rain. Like, it might rain. Right? We believe in the weatherman, but we're not believing the signs, right? So I think it's very important for us, not even as Muslims, as humans, to spend time out in nature, to reconnect, to just re-energize, reinvigorate our bodies. Because there's nothing better, bro. My sister and I were talking about how at our grandma's house, we used to wake up and just the smell of the air out there in the country is so much different. Like you wake up in the morning and you could just hear the roosters, and then you would hear, because she lived like on a main road, but it wasn't a lot of traffic, so you hear the cars go, like, and it was just so peaceful, like being out there. You go out there and there was like wheat fields across from a yard, the wind. It's just like there was so much of Allah's creation right there that you were witnessing, and it was so nice. So every day I try to go out for a walk. I try to be near water. They say, when you're near water, you're scientifically proven to be 75% happier.
75%.
Yeah. Maybe the number's a little bit skewed, but
Still makes sense.
I like the number. Yeah, so that's super important. I don't even know.
So we went to a lot.
Where were we at?
Different things right now. I mean,
We went.
You just went random.
Vacation, bro. Vacation. Yeah, because we're going to the Bahamas, bro. We're going to the Bahamas in a week.
I think it's
How are you fit? Not we're going to Nasser.
No, it was not. No. Nasser. That's
Nasser.
It's supposed to be Egypt.
No, Nasser. This is, bro. It's a place in the islands. It's part of the Bahamas.
No, I think it's called Nasser.
Nasser.
Nasser?
It's called Nasser.
Okay.
Yeah, trust me. I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's Nasser. It's about pirates in the Bahamas and stuff like. Yeah, bro. About to have so much fun. I'm about to jump off of like cliffs and waterfalls. About to go snorkeling with sharks. You know what my dad says? My dad says, "Yeah, man, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Don't fall off the boat." I'm like, what? What? Of all the things you could have said, don't fall off the boat. Like, damn, pops. He's like, nah, you fall off the boat, it's over.
I'll see you when you get back. That's all right.
He's like, I'll see you in Jannah, because that's the last time I have to see you. Like, damn, pops, you couldn't give me no well wishes, like, have fun. The only thing he said was, don't fall off the boat. Like, all right, bet.
I think now I'm at the point in my life where we're just doing stuff consistently. We're so busy that, like, I never get excited to do something until it's about
Until you're there. Yeah.
There's just so much going on. Like, I was like, oh, I'm about to go down and record a radio show. But that was while I was in the car, like 20 minutes away. So I'm the same way. Like, I probably won't feel that, like that, just that exhilaration just probably won't go through my body. And so, like, the adrenaline won't go through my body until I actually get on the plane. That's usually for me, like, in the moment. So I'm more just like in the moment type of guy.
Nice. I know we always are like on the go, we're always driving, so we're always going somewhere. But I love being in that mode, and I love being in the airport. I love the airport, bro. I don't know. I took a trip to Indiana not too long ago, and it was amazing. Like the Indiana was okay, but I love the logistics of going from place to place. I love the airport. It's just a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, speaking of which, there's this dude. His name is Hassan Al-Qantar. I think this dude is from Syria. He's a Syrian refugee. This guy was trapped in between airports. He was in an airport and couldn't leave because no country would take him. Right? Matter of fact, there was a movie about this. Tom Hanks was a Yugoslavian refugee because there was war in Yugoslavia, and because that war started, he technically could not leave the airport to go into America. He was in the airport for like a year or something like that. And I think it was loosely based off of a true story. I haven't seen it in a long time. But yeah, like that stuff happens. I'm not gonna say it's uncommon because I don't know how common it really is, but it happens. But this man was stuck in there for 7 months, and he finally made it into Canada. I think last week, right? I think he was stuck in the airport somewhere in like the Pacific Rim.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's wild. Could you imagine that? Like
7 months?
like where would you sleep?
Sure, I would see where the pilots sleep. Like, I would definitely find something, executive suite. I would find something, no worry. 7 months?
Bro,
I
you know,
I would know the whole landscape of the airport.
all right, so I just hopped on Twitter, right? This girl tweeted, Muslim Dawa YouTubers and the obsession with Muslim women. Where's the outrage for men?
Oh,
And I guess she's
Nice.
trying to.
talk about.
Oh yeah, okay, we followed this woman. Yeah, bro, she's exactly right. The
It is
Dawa YouTubers, bro. I think there's something really shady about that too. Like the Dawa YouTubers. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Anyways, I digress.
Move on.
Move on, young man. Move on. Yeah, bro. So I'm hype for this man. I'm hyped that he's finally out of the airport.
Right.
Mashallah, like.
I wonder what's the first thing he did? Probably took a shower.
Yeah.
Probably went to go see it. I'm sure. Can anybody visit him, you think? People
Yeah, I mean he's in a public airport, but like,
he just couldn't leave.
bro, like you gotta think about it. He's been there since March. That's 7 months of like legal battles.
Yeah.
Like he's stressed. He ain't got no bed. You don't know. You don't. Matter of fact, let me figure out what what airport he's in. What, bro? All right, Twitter's the best. Egyptian actor faces trial for wearing revealing dress. Trial? All right. Well, what's revealing? Like, what's oh damn. Oh. Here in America, we've seen worse, but in Egypt, where's that rank in Egypt?
In Egypt, it depends.
All right, what do you mean?
If we're talking northern Egypt or southern Egypt, because with my Nubian fellas, that would not slide.
Okay, so somebody said this type of trial is fairly common. Usually stems from complaints by prudish or attention-seeking lawyers. In one case, author Ahmed Najee was jailed because a complaint said he had heart palpitations when he read a racy passage in an excerpt of Najee's novel. What?
Married and complete 50% of your deed, or do you think it's keeping you away from getting married? I'll give my take as soon as you're done.
Man, I'm going to get married eventually.
Inshallah.
But inshallah, inshallah, I have a nice big family, and you know, I want to complete that other half of the deen, but I feel as though I still need to complete the first half. Right?
What about the pressure? Do you
The
think
pressure,
there's pressure? That's what I'm talking about. Pressure.
Lately, yes. I feel like I've been pressured, man, because I've been put in certain situations where people want me to get to know certain sisters, and they want me to. They're like, "Yo, like you should do the good families," and it's same pressure that you've been under before.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I was like, "Yeah, like I'm definitely ready for it," but I really sat back. This was, I don't know, this was a couple months ago. I sat back and I was like, I'm not ready to get married. I'm not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many things I want to do and I want to experience on my own, so that when I do get married, it's like, yo, like I've experienced what I want to experience on my own. Now I'm ready to experience more with you and to share my experiences. You know what I'm saying? I want something to bring to the table. I want something to bring to the table other than headaches. You know what I'm saying? Like if I got married now, it would just not be good. And I think more people need to realize that like there's life out here for us to live as young adults, right? There's a lot out here that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to see for ourselves. And marriage is good, but what, for those people who are getting married like super young, like what are you honestly seeing at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, hell 26? Like what are you honestly seeing? Like there's some people, not everybody's situation is like that, but for the majority of us, like what are you actually being able to accomplish in those early years for yourself? What are you able to experience?
I mean, and that's why I wanted to comment, because the sunnah of our Prophet, peace and praise be upon him, was to get married young, if you're able. That's that thing that people forget. They're like, oh yeah, get married young. Your parents, I don't know if the parents do this on purpose or what.
Mm-hmm.
Get married while you're young, get married while you're young, right? It's like, cool, yeah, I did it. But then you didn't know that you're going to have 4 kids.
you have no financial stability, you have limited education, you can't really get a great job to support all these little kids you just had. You had them back to back to back, so now your wife ain't working because guess what? She got to watch all the kids, so now you working 4 jobs to support.
And your kids have no father now.
Yeah, and your kid, they essentially have no father. So it's like the times are a bit different, and I think that parents need to start teaching their kids like, yo, it's okay for you to live your life and to do your thing. We want you to stay as safe as possible. We want you to be within the bounds of Islam, right? But we don't want you to feel bound by it. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you to feel prisoner. We don't want you to resent this person that, you know, you got married and now you have kids and you weren't able to travel and do things that you want. You weren't able to do the things you want to do because now you're burdened with a full-blown family responsibilities.
I'm just laughing because, like, you're exactly right. My parents, when I was about like two years younger, they were just really on me about getting married.
So what, 24, 25?
Yeah, I'm 26 right now, so when I was 24 years old, like, hey, look, Muhammad, you're on your feet now, you got a job, you're stable, money coming in, you're smart, everything's, you know, it's going well. And after that, they started looking and they started to see the type of moves that I was making. They're like, all right, this guy's he's not trying to live an average life, you know, he's not just trying to get settled down and have kids and do that stuff. So they slowly stopped asking me, but now I think my mom's at the point, she's like, there's no girls here for you, Muhammad, in the U.S. We just gotta go back to Egypt. That's the problem. And just because you're getting married to somebody does not mean automatically that you're gonna become a better person, right? Because
that's actually a really good point.
Because if you're with somebody that's on their, you know, on their ish and they're doing their thing, and you just come on for a free ride, they're gonna notice that. You feel me? And they're gonna be like, yo, this is not what I signed up for. Like, you need to be out there getting your own. I need to go out there getting my own. We come in and we bring it together. It's a team effort. It's not one-sided.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, dude.
There's a lot of pressure though.
You know, this one sister that we follow. I'm not gonna say names. I kind of have a crush. Got a crush. I haven't had a crush since I was in like middle school. But she said it best. She was like, you know, I have high standards, so I have to make sure that I can fit those standards that I'm looking for in my spouse. And I was like, dang, that's real. That's real. Like, we all say, oh, I want this in a wife, or I want this in a husband, right? I want this, I want that. They gotta look like this, they gotta do this, they have to have this profession. But where are we at? Like, we're over here window shopping without enough money. You know what I mean? So I think it's important for us to understand that too. Like, you have to also get yourself up, not just expect you to get, you know, your Prince Charming or your princess just because you want it. Like, you have to actually do the work. You know, this is totally unrelated, but I was thinking about how a lot of people try and pray. Like, they're like, oh, I need to pray. God, help me do this, da, da, da. And I was like, yo, prayer is only part of it. Like, praying to Allah this isn't some mythical way of getting wishes. Like, you're not asking for wishes. You're making prayer. And prayer is two-sided. Prayer takes work, right? Like, you pray, and then you have to do the things that Allah asks, right? So, for example, you can't say, oh, Allah, like, oh, like, I need this girl. I need a good wife. But then you out here and you hoeing.
Yeah, doing X, Y,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can't work. It can't work both ways. I was just thinking about that the other day. Or like, oh Allah, like, bless me, be safe. But then you out here doing the most unsafe stuff possible. You know. So it's really down to us to work towards what we want as well. Like, prayer is only part of it.
But not only that, you have to work because you said it's best. When Allah gives you that, will you be ready?
Ooh.
Or will you fumble the ball, lose that opportunity? You feel me?
Because Allah's going to present it to you.
He's going to present it. Trust me.
He's going to, oh, you want, boom, you got it. And then you're going to get it and not know what to do.
I didn't say no. Like, Allah.
Dang, God, too much.
Too quick. Take her back.
Oh, man.
Man, we definitely went to
all right, we haven't recorded in a while because we didn't even talk about like the journalist who got cut up by the
Everybody
Saudis.
knows about that.
Everybody knows about
Jamal
that.
Khashoggi, everybody's talking about it. It's online.
Yeah. Rest in peace, brother.
Yes. Condolences to his family.
Yeah, absolutely. What else? Anything else? You got anything else, bro?
Are we talking about some recent news now? But rest in peace to everybody that was affected by the wildfires in California.
Yeah.
The campfire, the campground out in Pleasant. I hope everybody was able to recover, whether it was just financially, recover like physically if they got any burns, if they were just help like it hurt. This is something that's local. We have have a good amount of friends in California,
Yeah.
so
Praying
some people went on Facebook and they marked themselves as safe. Hopefully everybody was safe. I think there was a huge earthquake in Alaska. It was a magnitude 7. I think it was like yesterday or Friday.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, so hope
Praying for everybody out there.
Praying for everybody. I said yesterday because
and that's tough. That's tough, man. Because like out in Alaska, like it's very remote. Certain places are very remote, and they obviously have cities. It's not all ice. Just so you guys know.
Mhm.
I watch Alaskan Bush People. Love that show. But out there, like they don't have the same accessibilities as we do here.
Mhm.
So like if something bad happens, like the hospital might not be able to treat them as well as they would be able to here, like in the motherland.
I mean the
or the mainland.
By the way, the main reason why I was talking about that because it's one of those things where you just gotta check in on your friends, see how they're doing.
Yeah.
You don't know if they moved out to Cali. You don't know if they moved out to Alaska. You don't know if they have their own problems going on.
Mhm.
I mean, Jabrili checked in on me today. He noticed that I had 2 strands of gray hair.
Oh my
That's
god.
crazy.
Bro, yeah, we in the barbershop, just got that fresh edge up, had to get my geometry right. And this man, I look over, I peer to my left. I was like, yo, hey, Muhammad, you have two, I can see from here, bro, the joints is gray. They're gray. Gray man, yeah, that's me.
These past few months have been tough. But hey, we need a quick vote. Just hit us up. Would you rather have a brother that is bald or a whole bunch of gray hair?
I think women are obviously gonna say, I don't know.
Bald with
I
a
don't
beard.
know. Bald. We
Bald
flex it.
with a full beard. Throw that kufi on.
Because it's going to happen to all of us at some point. Like my mama said, all of us come in this world, bald, wrinkly, crying and pooping on ourselves, and we're going to leave the world the same exact way.
Wise word. But decent.
Like what's going on with those kids, the brother and sister out in Sheffield, England, bro, and they're getting harassed by their classmates. Yo, that is disgusting. Like that is absolutely disgusting.
And nobody to stand up for him or even say something.
Yeah, dog. People sitting there recording it. Dog, you gotta think. Dog, I've been in pressure situations, but I've never been in a situation. And the way this boy took this dude, literally wrestled into the ground. This boy just got up and walked it off, man. Like that's like yo.
And they followed him.
Yeah, and they kept following him, and then they trying to rip his sister's hijab off, his kiyam.
Someone will have to die after that.
Yeah, like bro. I mean, dog. The way I see it, man, is that it's disgusting. What's sad? It's sad because it's children. It's disgusting because it was taught.
It had to be. Nobody else in the school, did it. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta understand. They felt that they could do that to someone else. They
felt like they needed to. Like they felt like they had to teach that kid a lesson. That's what it was, right? Because those kids weren't black, right? Those kids weren't. They were Syrian refugees that were. Those kids are
already going through hell, and they
came here to this country, was supposed to be free and go and that's country in the UK just to get the same amount of torment. But the only thing I gotta say is that if you're in a public place and you see something going on, just try to help or try to diffuse the situation. Don't pull out your phone.
The Prophet said in Hadith that if you see a problem, you try and speak out against it. And then if speaking out against it doesn't work, then you put your hands on it. And if putting your hands on it doesn't work, then you hate it with all your heart. So even though we can't physically do anything, prayers, but also put that energy out there that you want to see better from people. You know what I'm saying? You want to see justice. Speaking of justice for Nabra. That's huge. I'll let you go on that one, bro.
I really.
So the guy that killed Nabra pled guilty and he's gonna get life.
Yeah. They wanted
That's justice.
They wanted the chair, but you can do that.
They want the chair,
Death
but they took the death penalty off.
Table.
Yeah, it's weird because like I
How do you feel? Are you against the death
I'm not.
penalty? What do you think?
Circumstantially, it's all in the circumstance, man. Because there's been people who've been wrongly convicted that get out that had death penalty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they get taken off the table, and then they're like, yo, like, oh, this dude didn't do it.
Yeah, in that
They found out years later.
situation, I think so.
Yeah, this situation is a bit different, but just as like if we're talking about in the totality of the situation, it's like, yeah. Now, because I have a friend and she was like, she's Muslim, her job is about fighting to get people off the death penalty, like to get the death penalty removed regardless of what they've done, right? So I was very open-minded to like what she does and how she viewed her work and stuff like that. But it's difficult, man, because when the whole Nabra situation happened, I remember like it was yesterday, you feel me? And that was somebody that was close to, you know, members in your family, and I was like, damn, like that could have been anybody. That could have been anybody,
Yeah.
you know? So it's extremely difficult to look at a situation like that and look at what the parents are going through and say, yeah, man, like, you know, we're happy with the decision. I don't know, man. That's hard. That's very hard.
Actually talk about the problems, you know? Nobody can go into detail about what's going on over text message. You know? Pick up the phone, man. Pick up the phone. Call somebody and really see how your Muslim brothers and sisters are doing.
Yo, so
people in general.
This is gonna be a long episode, just because I kind of wanted to talk about what we talked about on the radio show today, and that's about like kind of like I guess like the.
We have to we're summarize.
No, I kind of want to go in detail just a little bit about.
We giving you this is gonna cover the whole 3 weeks that we missed.
So I want to go on it because you talked about, you know, checking in on your friends, and I feel that social media is making it a lot easier for people to succumb to depression and anxiety and self-doubt, trouble with confidence, you know. It's difficult, man. It's extremely difficult when we have to constantly be on this wave of self-promotion and looking at other people and do that thing. Dude, you look exhausted.
No, it goes up by bird.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to like call it. Anyways, it's difficult when we're constantly looking at this stuff and like we're doubting ourselves and you feel like you're not good enough. And it's funny because a lot of the women that we follow, and you know, we're looking at like, wow, they have all these followers but they're constantly posting, you know, I'm struggling with this too. And I think it's very interesting that, you know, people that have these big followers that are doing these dream jobs and everything are still struggling with the same stuff that we're struggling with. So what is the issue, right? They seemingly have, you know, all of what they want or all of what we would want, right? They're living the good life, quote unquote. They're living in the cities that we want to be living in. They're dressing the way that we would want to dress, but they're still having the same problems. So what's the issue? You think it's social media? You think it's this pressure to constantly be, you know, this figurehead? It's the pressure to be, you know, quote unquote, this perfect example, right? And I think that was kind of like what I was saying in the live call with Soha about, you know, Dina Tokyo. I think it's Dina. I was looking on her page. Dina Tokyo is that she didn't ask for all these followers. Maybe she worked towards it, right? But the responsibility that she got from it, that's a lot. That's pressure that not many people get to feel.
Yeah.
To have 1 million people follow you on a social account that is about you and your life and what you're doing. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. And it's easy to crack into stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? To constantly be in the limelight. That's like, we don't have to worry about that.
And it's easy to say what you would do if you were in that situation.
Oh, if I had what? Man, no, they're lucky. Like, yeah, it's easy to say that, but at the same time, like, there's a lot of hardship. Like, yo, greatest quote of all time from one of the greatest movies ever. With great power comes great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man. Uncle Ben. R.I.P.
R.I.P. You're exactly right.
So it's a lot of responsibility, and people have to figure out how to navigate with it, right?
Yeah.
But to get away from her,
go back to what we were
on social media, checking on your friends, like, yo, it's just a lot happening with social media. How do you feel we should navigate with social media? How do you feel we should use social media in a way that we don't get in this depressive state?
I would just say limit the time that you're on it, because it will happen. Or just, limit the time that you're on the phone and really filter out what you want to see and what you don't want to see. So for Soha, going back to her example, on her live, she says, I'm a lawyer. I need real news. You know what I mean? I need news that's actually accurate. So she's like, I can't go on Twitter and Facebook because a lot of that stuff is not real news or real. It's just people's opinion. So what she said was, so going into social media, you gotta know what you're looking for. Some people are looking for stuff. Some people are just roaming with the wind. But I think there's a bigger problem. I think people need to shut off the phone and stop looking for examples and influences when they already have them in their lives. So for example, for me, a lot of the credit that I give to, I don't give my credit to some Arab guy that's wearing some clothes that actually is, like a Muslim. And like, no, I give credit to my dad, like my father.
Yeah.
Give credit to my mother. Give credit to my grandpa, my great grandpa, who was a farmer that taught instilled hard work into my whole family, who gave us land. Like, those are the people that I'm looking up to. These other people are just people that I'm looking to work towards, work with, right? But it wasn't like that when I graduated college. When I graduated college, it was a lot of envy, a lot of jealousy, because I was just coming out and I was broke, and I was, $60,000 in debt. So it was just like, at that point, you're just like, you see people like, yo, because you're in pain, and pain sells, right? So you're like, dude, how old are you?
Anything to make you feel better about your life.
How old are you? I'm 22 years old. I just graduated college. I'm debt free. I'm traveling the world. Dude, I don't know what you do. I want to be like you. Next thing you know, I'm subscribed to his Instagram. I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel. I'm watching Instagram. I'm looking at him Snapchat. But what is he really telling me? He's not really telling me much. I'm just watching what he's doing.
But think about the word, they're influencers. What they influencing you to do? What these people really influence? You said something really cool. You're like, bro, all these people, the issue I have with social media and the way these particularly like a lot of the women are using it, and even ourselves, like, don't get twisted, like I know dudes too who do it, is that their entire page is just photos of them.
Yeah.
Right? And it, like, when we first got Instagram, it wasn't about people, it was about your perspective. It was about something. Exactly. It was this unfiltered, it was this world that you can make filtered, but it was still about what you were seeing out in the world.
Capture.
Exactly. And it was, we're being like super deep and artsy with it. Yeah. But it was true though. It was like, yo, like, I would see cool stuff, and I remember, it's funny, I'll go back on my Instagram, because I don't delete any photos. I keep all my photos, like even when I was doing the haram stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Because I want people to see like my growth. And one of the interesting things is that like the first year, 2 years I had it, I wasn't getting more than 20 likes a photo, but I never noticed that. To me, getting one like was like a big deal to me. I was like, what? Like, this person liked it? And I follow a lot of those same people still. But now, if I post something and I don't get a certain amount of likes, so I'm like, damn, why didn't I get that many likes?
Was this really a good photo?
Yeah, like I was like, damn, I thought I was dripping. My God, drippity drip drip. I thought the swag sauce was swag for real. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you start questioning yourself, like, damn, like, do people not like me? Mm-hmm. Do I have any friends still? It's like we really start doing stuff for the approval of others without realizing it, And so I think realizing it is half the battle. Understanding it is half the battle.
What's the other half?
The other half is, now that you realize it, how are you going to combat it? Are you going to spend less time on it? Mm-hmm. Are you going to try to get more real life interactions with people? Are you going to just start doing more to be more self-confident? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think it ties into what we were saying earlier, like, people feel the need to take off clothes to feel relevant. Dog, that's why I have so much respect for Muslim women, because I'm like, y'all, these Muslim models out here are crushing it, and keeping all their clothes on. That joint, like, that is amazing to me. In an industry where, you know,
That speaks loud.
yeah,
That speaks loud.
that says a lot, bro. That says a lot that these women are in this industry where they aren't letting the industry finesse them to, you know, show their bodies, bro. And I love it. I love it. So
But you know what? Now the industry has gotten smarter. Now, so I keep going back to her reference. She said it well. Now they're using Muslim women and Muslim men to what? To start pushing that capitalistic agenda, showing people like, hey, the hijab you have is, you know, black and blue, whatever. Come look at this rainbow. Come look at this one right here. You need at least 70 different ones for every different occasion. Like, you don't know what you're missing out. It's like, oh shoot, it's right. You know, we need 20 different kufis, 30 different this, that, and third. They're making us go out and buy stuff that we don't need. And Jabril and I are some pretty frugal people, so even if we saw something like that, yo, alright, dude, whatever. Like, we're not gonna just see you post something as an influencer and I swipe up and I pay. That's not happening to me. You feel me? That's not. No. But we see that a lot. I understand if you're, you know, your brand, you have clothing that, like, if it's your clothing, I understand that. But if it gets to the point where all of your posts are about, like, trying to sell you, or it's branded, I'm just kind of like,
yeah,
I gotta take a step back.
Well,
No, I'm not talking about them. I just need to take a step back myself.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, I'm just getting too, you know what I mean? Like, remember we were talking about
this isn't about them. I was just gonna say, well, at the same time, like, sometimes you need some inspiration on how to dress. Like, bro, like,
talk to me.
like, bro, like, I got fresh for this new job.
Yeah.
But I needed a little inspiration. So I was going online, I was looking at certain people that, you know, like, I like how they dress, and I was like, yo, like, I like how this dude dressed, I like this. I was like, I want to kind of piece this together, and you kind of need that.
So, is there a way, can you balance that, or is that up to the consumer to find your balance?
What do you mean, balance it?
So it's like, right now you're like, yeah, you have stuff for clothes, right? You did that because you had something up and coming, like you had something. Did you buy those clothes out there so you felt like you were a better Muslim, or did you buy those clothes?
Well,
like, did it make you feel better when you got them? You know,
yeah, it
like,
made me feel better because I was like, bro, I'm fresh right now. I got dressed and looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, wow. Like, not even to be like on some cocky stuff. I was just like, wow, like, I like the way I feel in this. I like the way I look in this. Like, I feel more confident. Like, bro, the way you look and the way you dress, bro, every dude knows. After you hit the barbershop, bro, you be living that. Hey.
Remember that raise I was talking to you about? I'm ready now.
Hey, like, there's this video. The reason I was laughing like that because there's this video where the dude, that was like, before or after you get a haircut, the dude goes in, he's got like, he's looking rough. He's like, yo, like, can I get a haircut? You know. And then the barbershop's coming. He's like, yo, so where you from? And like he's edging. He's like, yeah, I'm from. Ooh. You know. Ooh. And then he's like, yeah, I'm from. And the dude started, and he's like, sure. He's like, yo, I told Shorty. And then he look when he does someone, he was like, your boy looking right. Like, it was just like, you feel so much more confident, you know what I mean? Like, you feel like you feeling yourself. So I think it's important for us to be able to find inspiration in what other people are wearing and what they're doing and things like that. But I guess, you know, to answer your question, like, where's that balance? I think that you can't be obsessed so much with your self-image that you forget, like, the world isn't just about how you look. You got, like we say, you gotta spend time out in this creation, bro. You gotta spend time out, you know, talking to your friends, seeing how they're doing. You gotta spend time out with interaction.
Talked about that, you know what I mean? Stuff we just talked about right there. I mean, once in a while they might be like, yo, I just want to drop in today and show some love. I actually like when people do that. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, Instagram peeps, I know you guys been following me today. I just want to show you some love. Like, thank you all for following me. You know, hopefully you guys just enjoy. Like, I like that. You know, because it comes back and it shows appreciation for everything.
Yeah, for sure. How long you been on?
Man, at like 148.
Really?
Yeah, almost.
Is this the longest episode we've had?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's pretty dope. All right. Is there anything else?
You want to Stan Lee legacy?
Oh wow, it's really been like that.
Yeah, lies happen.
Rest in peace, Stan Lee. Dog, it's crazy because I did quote Spider-Man out here. Hey, rest in peace, Stan Lee. For me, he was a big part of my life because I grew up reading comic books. I grew up with all the superheroes. I grew up making comic books because of, you know, the comic books that I read. I love Spider-Man, I love the X-Men, I love Black Panther, right? I was super excited for the film when it first came out, and I'm still excited. I'm excited to watch it again eventually. But like, what this man has done, what he stood for throughout his career, equality for all people, you know what I'm saying? Like, this man what he was doing, he was breaking stereotypes just with the cartoon characters he was creating. Think about it, this man was creating black superheroes in the prime era of like racism,
Iconic.
60s and 70s, civil rights. This man's creating Marvel comic book veteran. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. This dude, he lived a very long and fruitful life. I think there's a lot of people that have been influenced by what he's done in the world. A lot of good has come from what he's done in the world. The world's a much better place now that he's been in it and he's left his mark and his legacy. I think that there's this one Muslim sister that she's a illustrator, and somebody drew like they did console art for like a Muslim woman, but she was in niqab, but it was like really hugging. It was showing all our curves and like creases and everything. She was like, no, like that's not how, you know, we should do it. I think it can be better represented. And she drew up like 6 different really dope, like super dope,
You gotta see this.
like women in hijab and like in niqab and hijab and qiyam, you know, the whole nine. It was so sick. Like, she looked like a real superhero, and that, like, he inspired that. He inspired that sort of lights went out. He inspired that sort of vision for us. You know what I'm saying? He inspired me to make comic books with me, my boy Qasim, when we were, you know, for like 3-4 years, right? So I big deal for me, man. But I'm not sad that he's gone. I'm just very happy that we had him.
Hey. Yep. And George H. Bush went to the other side.
Yeah,
so
man. Rest in peace.
Peace. No matter what anybody does, there's just a death is a death. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Death is a death.
We gotta show compassion.
That's it.
We have to show compassion, or else we're no better than the people that we say that we're better than. Is there anything else?
Yeah, I mean, there was a in Louisville, Kentucky. There was a Muslim woman.
Is it Louisville?
Louisville. Yeah, so a Muslim woman out in Louisville, she was protesting something that ICE had did, and then when she got arrested, she got detained, and they told her to take. She was just a convert or a revert about a year ago. And then when she got detained, they took a picture of her, and they told her that we're gonna take a mugshot off you. So they took a mugshot of her.
You must be real.
Yeah,
you said mugshot.
Yeah, mugshot.
Mugshot.
So they took a picture of her, and she had her hijab on, her qiyam on the first time. The second time they asked her to take another photo, but without the hijab or qiyam, and then she said no. And they're like, hey, we need it because we need to see the dimensions of your head. Like, we need to see how it works, which is oddly, weird enough. But, she was okay, and then she did it. And then after she did it, the picture that they posted online was the one without her hijab and qiyam, and she was violated, and she hit up a lawyer, and she's taking that case up to court. So you go, sister, and we'll follow up with that. Inshallah, you win, which we believe you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on your side.
Yeah, so, and if you want to see more on that, make sure you follow Sister Soha Saeed on her Instagram. It's Empress Soha. It's Empress Soha. I don't know.
When the Empress though with
Oh man, it's EMPRESSSOHA. Empress Soha. Yeah, man, I feel really like stupid after that one. Fabio.
And you can also catch us on Instagram if you're not following us. That is Young and the letter N Muslim. That's Young and Muslim. I feel like we just we don't even plug anymore. We
stopped plugging ourselves. Yo, hey, go follow some of our social medias, guys. Yeah. Like, you look up the Young and Muslim podcast, you'll find us. Go follow us because
subscribe.
Yes, please.
YouTube,
God.
SoundCloud, all the different platforms.
iTunes.
To listen to your podcast, iTunes. Google Play.
YouTube. The YouTube videos are going up.
Yes.
Look, again, we are looking for a video master, mix master. We're looking for somebody that just wants to join the team, somebody that wants to be a part of what we're doing. You know, now that we're going to be in, one central location, it's going to be a lot easier to work. But we want to work with someone that's passionate about, you know, the religion, that's passionate about just making stuff.
Yeah.
And wants to see where we go with this and do something dope. So
exactly. Travel, there will be travel, very light travel, also light refreshments. will be served.
You get fed cheese and crackers every other podcast.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres. So we're looking for that, and look, there's a lot of big things coming. I know now we're on episode 33, and you know, we just want to say thank you to everybody that's listened from the first episode to this episode. You guys mean a lot, so shout out to you guys. Shout out to all you guys that are listening, whichever ways you're listening, because you guys are what make this whole thing possible. I know we're not on like episode 100 or 150 or 200, but every episode that we put out is a milestone for us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because we genuinely see this as something that we want to do for the long term, and alhamdulillah, we've been blessed with amazing listeners, amazing viewers, and amazing community of young Muslims, and even people who aren't Muslim. We've been blessed with you to be out here listening to us and really engaging with us and becoming part of our atmosphere.
100%. If there's anything that we said that, you know, might have came off as offensive, or you want to talk about it because our information might be wrong, just reach out to us. You know, reach out to us, just have a conversation. We're two open-minded guys, and we never claim to be scholars or imams or anything along those lines. So let's definitely make sure that's
absolutely. So it's definitely time to go at this point. So with that, my name is Jibril Salam.
Muhammad Hassan.
And you were listening to the Young and Muslim Podcast.
This time we officially hit you with the greetings of peace.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace.